Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Sorry for a late video recap today. A lot was going on today. It was a busy day. Huge big day for us in the community, and of course Bitcoin breaking out of over the 100,000. So that was kind of also was a busy evening with there as well. So there's a lot to cover, so I'll try to go fast and I will try to do a quick introduction here, guys. So all these trade recaps and all these teachings are either from my YouTube previous videos or either from X or mostly from my community. We use a repeatable trading system, Ripster EMA Cloud, or Ripster trading system that thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. We trade repeatable setups that I teach and I show you day in, day out. We have repeatable strategies that work consistently with small losers and big winners. Every morning we have a game plan. Me and my team, we create this game plan. As you see, this was today's game plan. I even tweeted out this game plan on Twitter as well for free for my followers. A lot of plays from this game plan really worked. We have earnings, IPOs, market plays, news plays, upgrades, downgrades, everything, and we have a support level, resistance level, and if we have a game initial buys and initial game plan, and then we follow our system as the market opens. So and we also have something called day 2, day 3 setups. These are our day 2, day 3 strategy plays. No PLTR were one of the main day 2, day 3 plays that really worked out well there. And of course, ROKU was another good one, day 2, day 3 setup. And this is a repeatable strategy. I did a free webinar on this, and I teach you guys this in previous YouTube videos on my X. Everywhere I talk about these videos as well. We also provide daily levels. We provide daily levels to trade SPY, QQQ, IWM, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Netflix, Boeing, Amazon, Meta, Tesla. All these names we provide as well, so that traders can use these levels in the EMA Cloud system to trade them consistently. We trade Bitcoin-related plays every day: coin, MSTR, CLSK, Mara, Bitcoin. We provide these levels to the traders, so anybody who's interested in trading those Bitcoin plays, they can trade those and make use of the what we provide. The system works on Bitcoin, the system works on all other trading assets. So that's and once we have this game plan, I'm usually on voice first few hours of the market open. So I'm usually on voice at the first few hours of the market open, and I stay on the voice if needed, guiding my community through all these trade ideas and the market analysis and live commentary on the market. Most of our traders in community trade these consistent setups themselves with their guidance. We are not an alert service, but to find success in the financial markets. We have all the tools in our community. We have 3-4 option scanners, stock scanners, news bots, breaking news. We have everything as a one-stop shop for trading. Anyways, I will show you my timestamp comments on all these trade ideas and my guidance and how the community nailed these setups, losers and winners. We discuss everything. Let's start. All right, let's start with CRM. Let's see what was the play on CRM today. So CRM was one of our top watch lists today. Let's see what was going on. So CRM gapped up a lot. I covered yesterday after our trade we did towards 350, but it gapped up too much, right? When something is gapping up too much, there's going to be a lot of profit taking and it's going to pull back. So let's see what our plan was on CRM. So CRM was extended in after hours, interested in 3450 bounce, otherwise some gap fill. So I already explained this setup. I even tweeted it on Twitter, the full game plan. So as soon as the market opened, let's see what we were looking at. So as soon as the market opened, I told everyone it's a gap fill short. You can see from the level I gave in the pre-market, and right there when it starts to break that, it confirms a short. You either short the first candle or you wait for this pullback. This second candle you short here. My idea was if it gets over 370, we will exit, and if it holds it rejects 370, we will stay short. And it rejected 370 and then it pulled back. That's what I told. Close amateur short if 512 clouds reclaim. Clouds never reclaimed. We were still bearish, still bearish, slowly fading. It needed some patience because it was a waste of time here, burning your options. But if you're short, you give it some time. There's no reason to close the short. And then CRM slowly faded in towards 356. My final target was 355, but then 357 buyer just came in. That's when I said close all your shorts and look for the longs on this curls, right? So that's what happened. It pulled, flag, held the 512 curls, never broke down, and then it gave a 512 curl to 3450 curl, ran nicely from 360 all the way to 368. So there was a very nice trade, right? You could make $8-9 profit per share to the downside, and you could make $7-8 to the upside. So that's what Ripster EMA Cloud system tells you how to trade these stocks, right? Big gap up and pull back. It could easily pull down more, but you have to do some tape reading and understand where the buyer is, and then so reclaimed and we pushed higher. So it was a pretty good trade, just with the pre-market planning and timestamp guidance, no hindsight, no BS. So you can see that how the system works. You just need to have your good timestamp, good time entry for the both long trades and short trades. If you're missing the short trade, that's fine. You can always take the long trade, the repeatable 512 call setup. So there was two setups: opening short that I cover a lot in the webinars, and then a midday longs. So next one we're going to look at is Amazon. So Amazon was a pretty good long trade this morning. Let's first look at our game plan and our levels on Amazon. The levels on Amazon was 216.29 and 216.50. So why was Amazon of interest today? Because when the market opened, I saw a lot of flow coming in. Not a flow coming in. That's when I told a lot of flow coming in. It's a long today, and of course it's breaking out over the levels I gave in the pre-market. My first target was 218, the second target was 219, my final target was 220. And if you see that we exactly met our 220 target, and we hit it, and then we pulled back. So you can see that how all our targets are meeting. And once it broke 512, we exited that trade. It was a beautiful trade on Amazon. So important to understand in this trade is that we are breaking out of this this chart. Again, it's an all-time high breakout, right? So there's an all-time high breakout on Amazon. You do not ignore the charts, and there is a flow. There is flow. There is all-time high breakout. So all this makes it an A+ long setup, right? A+ long setup with all-time high breakouts and the so much flow. That's why we watch all these option scanners every day, each day in the community. We keep eyes on these option flow scanners, so we can see if there's a lot of buying pressure, if we can see if a lot of buyers are stepping in, and there's a lot more interest for this to push higher. So next one we're going to look at is OKTA. So OKTA was another one of our one of my favorite setups, which is Gap and Crap setup. Let's see what was happening here. Let's draw a Fibonacci, and let's see here. And it was a pretty easy, pretty simple setup. And let's look at here. Let's see. What was our game plan in the pre-market? Our game plan on pre-market on OKTA was long if 90-91 holds or 94 pivot. Otherwise, gap fill short, right? So you see that it broke right under that clouds right away, and then broke the 91s, and it was a short right away. So I said it's a gap fill short, the first target MTF target, and we hit the MTFs 84s from the 90 shorts. Even if you didn't get the good entry, your stops are still right here, 91.50. So you can easily risk $50s, and then you can make $7-8 profit there. Very easy trade. I was looking for 81.60 right here to fill the gap. Didn't get it, but when it starts pushing back our MTF, that's our warning. You can close fully, but ideally you don't have to close until it pushes over the cloud. When you see the reject, this is where you close and get out completely. Of course, you take your profits as we go down to maximize your profit potential on this trade. All right, so love this trade. When the trades work as just per the pre-market guidance, it's just amazing, right? It's just beautiful trade setup, all day fade there. So next one we're going to look at is MRVL. So MRVL was another beautiful trade. So let's look at what was our plan on MRVL, and that was my all-day guidance on MRVL. MRVL was another one which had a lot of flow as well. It was our play in the community. Let's look here. Let's see what was the game plan on MRVL. The game plan on MRVL was bullish bias to long, breakout is 110. So I gave that planning. I highlighted these 3 plays because these 3 plays were the main plays for us in the community. So as soon as you see this MRVL breaking out here, holding this level, you long it. And you see the 110 breakout, you long it, your stops right under there, or you can use this area stops. Ideally, you don't really want to see it pulling down here. Or you can use $2 for your stops. And that's when I said it's confirmed long, flag break for 111, 118 target, 118 target met. My final target was 120, and we met our 120 target as well. And you see there's a lot of flow on Ghost Board, one of our partners and the members of community who has a nice option flow scanner, has been alerting. So anyways, you see that it's nothing much to recap here. It's the same setup we talk about again and again and again. One thing to note on MRVL was that it was breaking over 100 psychological level, right? So that's always good. The same thing happened in other trades in the past, like Kava. I think there are a few other trades, Reddit we did, which were 100 psychological breakout. So that was an A+ setup, right? It's an A+ setup, very hot market. You need to capitalize on these setups and make money in the market. So you could easily risk $2 per share and make $7 per share. The options also went really nicely on this MRVL trade. Let's see how they did here. We're just going to look at 105 calls or 110 calls. We're going to look at 110 calls here, see how they did. So 110 calls. So the 110 calls on the MRVL went from $4 all the way to $10, and that was another easy 100% trade there, right? 140% trade depending on where you added. So let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to look at is ROKU. So let's see what ROKU was doing. ROKU was another one of our day 2, day 3 setups. So you can see that ROKU was day 2, day 3 setups, right here on day 2, day 3 setup. And also, not only that, ROKU also had a news right here, bullish bias to break out over 81. That was my pre-market planning. That was my pre-market setup. That's what I shared with everyone in the Twitter. I also tweeted on Twitter as well in the morning about the game plan. If you want to see that, so that the other that the game plan I gave in the morning, you can see that how it kind of worked out nicely for everyone. You can see that, no, not this one right here in the morning I shared. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah. So you can see that right here I shared as well on the Twitter in the morning. So that was a really nice one as well, and it pushed nicely from the game plan. You see, I told everybody to not panic. This is the pullback. Do not panic. It's just a 512 pullback. Hold your longs, and 85, 84 was my target, and we went really good. And 82 calls went 150%. So that was a good trade as well on ROKU. Let's go to the next one. So that was a ROKU trade for today, and once it breaks 512, that's when you exit it, met all the targets. So next one we're going to look at is SNO. SNO was a beautiful setup. It was a daily chart setup today, SNO. The reason SNO was such a good setup was because it was breaking the daily flag, right? That's why you need always to look at the daily chart. It was not on my watch list. It was on my watch list for day 2, but I didn't see the flag, and one of my friends mentioned it, and then that's why I was so confident about it. Right away, I told everybody it's a daily flag breakout long. And I gave the 185 target, and we did push higher as well. Our system tells us to long, we long. Look at the daily chart, look at the setup. Such a bullish market today. It means just like a Santa rally coming up early. You can see the timestamp guidance, you can see the setup, and you can see that I gave SNO in the pre-market as a weekly flag. I already gave that setup in the pre-market for everyone to trade with. So next one we're going to discuss is Boeing. So Boeing was a nice trade today. It was all the guidance by Win. We trade Boeing every day. It's on our watch list every day. But Win comes in, one of very senior traders and a close friend who's part of the community. He alerted everybody to watch the dips versus 54, and there's a 512 call and this MTF breakout, and he guided everyone all day long. And then there's another flag. There was no reason to cut Boeing because holding the 512s and pushing higher towards 160. You see where it rejected, that was the few days before high. So that's always the target, right? This area, this is the resistance. That's why I hit it and comes back, and that's why you take the profits once it hits that target. You only need to find the resistance on, like, whereas on the daily chart, on the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see that there was this resistance on 1 hour chart. All right, let's look at the next one. Next one was Foot Locker. Foot Locker, the short did not work. That was a loser. It was 60 cents per share loser. We were short on the amateur candle, but I did not see it failing. Then I gave the warning that we have to break the pre-market lows to confirm the short, but it never broke it as expected. It pushed it over 512s, and that's when I said you can look for the curls and 512 curls idea. Then it pushes, and it pushed towards the 3450. I told everybody to hold and put your stops at 22. We hit almost 22.80, and then it breaks the 22 and pushes back down. That's when you exit it. Really nice trade. Even though the loser were small, but you could make $2. Even the loser 60 cents, but you could make $2 to the upside. So that's the beauty of the system. When it doesn't work, we get out right away. We do not think twice. All right, I talk about the strong sectors every time. So important thing to note today, I even tweeted about it, that when one company in a sector does a good earning, other stocks in the sector run. So we know the CRM was doing good. So OKTA was gapping up, right? OKTA was doing good. The cyber sector was up. That's why CrowdStrike and all the other names were strong. And CRM did good, so cloud sector was strong. We have a list of the cloud sector that was up all day: DDOG, MDB, ROKU, Now, and that's why we put that in our game plan. We put DDOG and Now in the game plan. All cloud names, watch all software names. I didn't have to list everything there, but you can see it's easy trade. Go long there, and that's kind of the teaching that we try to teach and tell everybody. So DDOG was long, Now was long, and it paid very well all day. No reason to cut. So that you just have to trade one thing. You don't need to trade everything, but you can see how good of a bullish day today was, that everything was breaking out and running. So next one we're going to look at is PLTR. Let's see what PLTR was doing. PLTR was our day 2 short. Beautiful short on PLTR. There was our day 2 setup. So PLTR was a day 2 setup. You can see that 71.54 was the support, 72 was the resistance. So I discussed this, that often when something is running too much, and if it breaks the 3450 clouds next day, it becomes a short. PLTR was a short all day, 3450 break, MTF target, same thing I teach you in 100 and other trades, and then it even got a news and it failed further. So it was a nice short. So that's why you need to keep watch on all these plays, all these setups when they are running up crazy, and you can have these opportunities to make some money intraday. So next one we're going to look at is Microsoft. Microsoft we trade every day. That's our game plan setup, and there was a nice push in the morning because there was a flow coming in, and this was all flow. It was all alerts by Ghost Board, and we have the scanners live in the community. And Microsoft pushed from this 3450 all the way to 439. Just want to show you the power of Microsoft, right? There was also flow on MRVL as well, and so was the flow on Microsoft that helped the traders trade it. And our system, when it's a bearish day, we short everything. When it's bullish day, we long everything. All right, so let's look at CHWY. CHWY was a short loser today. CHWY was a short loser, and same thing as FL. It was fading under the MTF, but it reclaimed right back. When it reclaims here, you take a loss, move on, and you could play the 512 curls. And I said you can try for the curls. Short is done. And same thing, 512 calls all the way to upper MTF clouds. Beautiful setup, just from the MTFs, from the lower MTFs to the upper MTF. So that was the MTF trade on CHWY. The important thing to note is that your short might be small, right? 50 cents loser, but you can make $1.50 on the upside. So never hesitate to go from the short to the long or to long to the short. All right, so let's look at Meta. So Meta was another loser today. We were holding some 620s from yesterday. They were really up. I gave the overnight holds. They were up nicely today. they were 100% up, but we were looking for this breakout. We never got this breakout, and Meta failed, and we stopped out under this 334.50. You stop right away. You don't even look at it, because the point is, sometimes Meta is running, sometimes Amazon is running, sometimes Google is running. You just need to focus what's strong and what's running. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's talk about NVIDIA, AMD, and SOXL. NVIDIA, I'm going to talk about the swing. This is the swing that this is our community swing. I gave these swings on NVIDIA, like you can see here, the swings gave it November 27th. And when a swing I gave on NVIDIA, I also shared the chart on Twitter as well. You can see that NVIDIA was our swing setup. This was our swing setup, right? 1, 2, 3. That's a triple 3 bounce for us, for NVIDIA, and you can see what was the reason, right? This was a support right here. 132 was your risk, and I shared that, continuously to share that the updates on NVIDIA, because you have to stay patient, right? This 142 is always your first target as a Fibonacci level. So this was the setup. Learn the simples. This is called support, bounce, swing setups. If you're not a day trader, you're not active trader, you can trade these swing setups. I have 7-8 swing setups that I often share with everyone, but this is one of the important and simplest swing setup, which is called a support, bounce, swing setup that you can trade without any indicators. And also today was the earnings. MRVL earnings helped with all these setups, and even though NVIDIA pulled back, it became a long right here. That's when I told everyone that NVIDIA is curling and it's a long, and then I told it's a 3450 curls. This is the setup. You ignore it here. If you're day trading, you get long here, you can add more over this breakout, and NVIDIA all day ran beautifully towards 145. So our swing all the way closer to this 132 level, on November 27, our swing was right here at 132s, 133s. We are already up $11 per share on that swing. So let's look at AMD swing now. So similar setup, AMD swing, similar setup. I've talked about this many times. Same setup, repeatable setup. You can repeat it for whole your life. I was focused on AMD because it was kind of lagging and beaten down. You see this resistance, support reclaimed, support bounce, and that's why I gave the AMD swing as well. You can see that we had initial swing. We stopped out here. We lost a few dollars, but then we got back in using the same risk, right? So I mentioned that swing it, right? The same day I mentioned that swing it, and then AMD swing held that support, and then we are up nicely on that swing as well, $10 per share. Same was for SOXL swing. I've been tweeting about that swing as well. I share all my ideas on Twitter as well. Of course, our community is a private community, but I still share a lot of education, 95% education ideas on my Twitter as well. So you can see that November 18, I've been looking at these levels. This is your stops, this is your add levels, and see what's happening here. We bouncing right from that risk level, right from the $26 risk level. Same setup, right? They're all semiconductors. You don't need indicators for these setups. That's how you grow your account, with these swing setups. And I explain it. Look at these tweets. I explain it. Why is it a swing setup? I show you before, I show you after, and I show you the real-time trends. I don't do any BS, right? I go before and after. I give a swing idea before the move, and I tell everyone in my community, do not sell, hold the swings, right? So that swing on XL today really hit 3150, and we were still not selling, and there was a beautiful trade. Everybody was on this swing in the community, and you can see that with MRVL earnings, other semiconductors were all profit taking, but SOXL swing 3150. There's no reason to sell. We are nicely in the money. You can sell like 30-40% if you want. I'm just going to hold it, see what more it has. I would like to see it bounce over this 2930 area, but so far so good. Beautiful swing. Another swing that we did that was for Lily, and it was the same setup again, same setups again and again and again. And you can see that I gave this Lily swing as well. And this is the teachings that I've been showing from from many years. I have a lot of timestamped recaps, timestamped trades from many years, and you can see that why were we buying here at 700, 710, and we are right up here at 840. We maintain our swing tracker as well in the community. We will be launching our long-term swing service soon, but you can see all that, Willy, SOXL, all that. Even ASML was one of our swing ideas which we closed, but I told everybody to watch it again, and it has been going up as well. VKTX is another swing. It's still holding the risk level, and but we already won 3 out of our 4 swings. So this is how you make consistent money in the market by if you're not a day trader, you can use these swing traders. Watch my teachings, watch what I teach, watch my swing teachings, long-term investment teachings, and you will be successful in the market. Build confidence in yourself. Do not look for the alerts. And these are the setups you yourself can do, especially when we are in the bull market. So this was the support, bounce, swing setups. You look for the repetitive bounce on the same spot, support. You put your stops under that, or use the concepts of reclaim or retest, and grow your account. So Tesla was not doing anything all day, but at the end of the day, I shared this idea that it's a 1 hour breakout. You can see that, and this was a 1 hour breakout. Tweeted about it. It squeezed from 355 to 358. I do like it. It's this 1 hour breakout to hit 360, and then next breakout will be 360. So that was the idea I shared here in the community today. Look at the 1 hour candles. Always check your 1 hours. All right, I'm just going to talk about MSTR today. So Powell was speaking, and Powell said, the Bitcoin is more comparable to the gold, and that gave it a big push. And you can see that as soon as I was looking at the 512 curls, 3450 curls. I mean, you can trade that 512 curls and 3450 curls, but what I saw was that MTF breakout. Repeatable. These are indicators I made, which are highly profitable. Losers are small, winners are big. You can trade consistently with those setups, and you can see where it went. Since I said MTF breakout, I was on the voice, and traders in the community, they're already long that. A lot of traders are already long from my 512 call setups, right? So that was the catalyst that MSTR was going. And let's look at the Bitcoin now. So looking at Bitcoin, breaking out of 100,000 today, that's really nice. It's just the technicals. Look at the flag. It tested 100K once, resistance, breakout. And this is normal. That's how it works. Sometimes you reject, pull back, retest the previous breakout, and push again. And this is also not a hindsight. I've been talking about Bitcoin breakout from the long time, and I've been talking about the impact of Trump, Vance, the new administration. It's a huge impact, right? So you can see this, Bitcoin breakouts I've been sharing back from the 67,000 and then 76,000, and then most recently I shared this flag. I told it's 100K inevitable. The thing I'm trying to say is, you can, if you're invested in Bitcoin or you want to invest in Bitcoin, you trade these setups. You put your stops 85,000, buy 90,000, let it work, right? So you see that breakout and understand the macro environment, right? I talked about Trump, and I talked about Trump a lot. That Trump Vance is really bullish, and after the elections, that was it, right? You need to understand the macro. I was never a big believer in Bitcoin, but I am a big believer in macro economy, political environments that can help the Bitcoin. You can see it started running as soon as he was elected. It was already running, and you can see I've been talking about that. A lot of my followers were really DMing me nice DMs today because they made a lot of money on Bitcoin. That's fine. I'm very happy for them. But I want you guys to understand, why was this? The technicals, the setups, you don't buy blindly. You look for the setups. In this case, it was our flag breakouts, and that's how confident we are. I trade IBIT, Bitcoin ETF. It pays really well. So now Bitcoin is breaking 100K. So worst case, it pulls back 100, holds, and then continues to push. The reason this happens is 100K is a big psychological level. When it breaks the psychological level, a lot of traders jump in. The people who are holding, they do not sell because they want to hold, because they know it's 100 is breaking out. It can push higher. We can push to 105s. Maybe we pull back. But from here on, I think Bitcoin will hold its power as long as it holds 100. If it breaks 100, then I will be a little cautious for more pullback. But as long as it's holding 100, it can push. Maybe it pushes higher, depending upon how many more buyers FOMO into it. There's a 110.57. There's a fib extension. We can actually we can even put it more fib extension, but that's a good fib extension. If you want to put a smaller fib extension, you can put a smaller fib extension there as well, and see the what the breakout was, and that fib extension takes me to 105, then 110. So that's my ideal target next on Bitcoin. And MSTR, already Tape was calling it out, and it can easily push to 500 if Bitcoin keeps pushing tomorrow. So we'll be high watch on Bitcoin. So that was analysis of Bitcoin. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you can learn from these teachings, and next opportunities you can kill it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.